Hello, good morning, USA. Good evening, Singapore, Asia. This is Stella, and today we are back on International Successful Entrepreneur Facebook group. And of course, this is also shared in my YouTube channel, Stella Ho, as well as my Facebook page, Stella Ho's page. Yeah, today's topic is about heart-centered negotiations. And this is something very close to me, and I will often talk about heart-centered negotiation. And people wonder what is heart-centered negotiations. Hey, hi everyone. Hi, Facebook users. Good evening. Yeah. So if you're watching from Facebook, you want to key in streamyard.com/, your Facebook, so that I can see your name in this chat itself. Otherwise, I'm not on Facebook right now. I can't see. Today, I want to focus on heart-centered negotiation because, like many of you, you are probably in business, in your career, in a job. Majority of you in this group are entrepreneurs, except for some maybe aspiring to be entrepreneurs. One of the things that's important, even in life, is about negotiation. Yeah, because if you want to get the things that you want in your life, many a times you have to negotiate for it. Of course, you can go into the supermarket and buy something offhand and it's the price tag, but most of the things in life we have to negotiate. Sometimes even negotiating with your child on certain things, some actions to take, actions not to take, you also need to negotiate. So what today's topic is about heart center. Why is that important? Because in my years experience in even in corporate and then back to in as an entrepreneur, I realized being a heart-centered negotiator actually helps me to achieve the result that I want in life. So I wanted to focus on this because a lot of traditional business owners focus on selling products and services. However, if you observe what are you different from the rest if you focus on products and services. For example, if you're a real estate agent or financial consultant, you talk about insurance products. So, and tons of people are going to talk about insurance product, or real estate people, they're going to talk about the real estate product, the 3-room flat, the 4-room apartment, the mansionette, or the bungalow, whatsoever. So what is the difference between you and the rest of the competition? Or if you're selling a product, a facial product, whatsoever. So when we talk about heart-centered negotiation, it starts very simply with number one, listen. Okay, one of the techniques about closing, about being able to do well in sales, in closing directly, is this thing called listening skill. And this is something that over the years, that then I realized that I have been using it in business, in closing, in my sales, in my process of even coaching, in my negotiation of even at work. And now, in fact, I practice a lot more of this negotiation part of stuff at home. Yeah, even though we're already practicing it without us knowing it. So one of the skill of being a good heart-centered negotiator is actually listening skills. Are you able to listen to the other party's desire, needs, want? One, of course, is desire, similar. What are they looking for? So in business terms, right, in the mentoring business, I often talk about what is the pain that they are facing and what paradise are you bringing them to. So are you putting you in their shoes and listening to what they need? That's the most important skill. Because if you are listening to what your clients need, when you have the right products or services, you will be able to magnify your pros of your products or services so that it can help them attain the result that the client wants. So one of I want to share this because when I was doing my sales in real estate, I do multiple millions transactions, investment grade properties in Singapore. It can be a land, a building, you whether residential, hotel, apartment, office, whatsoever. So one of the important skills that I observe that I practice often is to have conversations with my clients I know exactly what they're looking for. So one of the deals that I closed amazingly, in fact, in the day, was a 80 million deal then. And when the client told me, the seller told me that, hey, I decided that I want to put this up for sale the next day, and we'll like in preparation, and then that morning itself, on the actual day, we actually have a conversation and finalize the contract and things like that. And I was able to put it up for sale that very day. However, one of the conditions that was given to me was that he wants it as a quick deal. He wants it sold as soon as possible, within preferably the shortest time frame. So it's as good as telling me he needs it done right now and then. So, however, because I was listening to all my clients, I have a list of clients. I know exactly what is their niche, what is their interest, what is their budget, what are they looking for in the market. I was able to reach out to one private client directly and tell him about the deal. And I actually told him that, hey, by the way, you're the first guy that I have reached out, and I am going to reach out to a few others. It's not just you, because I have to be fair to my client, right? Because he wants me to do an outreach but however, he wants a quick deal. One of the condition is he wants a quick deal. So I can only share that this is the range, and this is potentially what we can sell it for. And I actually told him that I need a quick deal, I need this done ASAP. And because I was able to understand all the different needs of the clients with this listening skill, I was able to identify that, one, I could not work with a corporate then, because I need the deal inked right at that spot, if possible. If there was a corporate, it must be a private corporate who can one person decide, the main person decides, and not go through a board of directors and come back in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So it was with that process of understanding the needs of the seller, I was able to identify the types of clients that I can reach out to, and reach out to quite a few in that day. And however, the first clients that I went on, I knew he has a budget because I was aware and listening to what they're looking for. So, and that very night itself, we closed the deal. In fact, it wasn't that night itself. It was early morning, because we met in the night, and we reviewed the contract, and we stayed up through the night, and we inked the deal in the early mornings of the next day. And I was able to close the 80 odd million deal overnight. And the seller, was very happy because they had a timeline to meet. It's a corporate, they need a timeline to meet, and it perfectly meet their timeline in terms of completion. And for my clients, he got a good deal. He bought it. And the reason that he's given a good deal was because we were talking, and I was I was listening to all his requirements, and at the same time, he was quick to respond. Of course, that's very important, right? However, because I built the trust amongst the clients to know that I'm able to deliver, and sometimes over deliver, and most of the time I would say over deliver what they are looking for, there was that kind of rapport to build on it. So the other factor that is important besides being heart-centered, is building the rapport, the relationship building over years. So besides listening, okay, number one is that relationship that's cultivated over time to build the rapport, one, and build the trust. The other thing that is important is trust. Being heart-centered is just a word. However, you can be heart-centered, but you can't build the trust. The person will not also deal with you. So building the trust level to understand that you care about them. So the next factor that's important is care. The word care is a very important word in my life, because I really care a lot about many things. I care a lot about you guys in this group, which is why I'm doing this Facebook Live every week without fail. Whether you're watching, not watching, I'm still in it, because I feel that as long as I give value and I benefit the group, that's where I come from. And of course, there's a lot of resources in this group that I love to share. And in fact, we are building something unique in the coming weeks, and it will benefit a lot of you in this group. So you want to hop into this Facebook Live and catch what is being launched, because it's going to help you in your business in many aspects, okay, or even in your life. So care is a very important word in business. for those businesses which are very commercial, who's based on profits, which only care about how much they make and focus on products and services, in the long term, you will realize that you would not be able to have a long-term business. So yes, Facebook user, relationship to trust, to care, build the true value for all. Awesome. Yes. So much that you have written here from what I shared just now. Yeah. So when your clients believe that you care about them, they are willing to share more information of their needs and their want and their desire and their life, so that you can know how you can value add in their life. And once that level of trust is built, because they know that you truly care, it is easier for you to close any deals. And the negotiation process no longer becomes a negotiation process. In fact, many a times, the negotiation space takes a much longer time for others compared with me, because I already knew the space, the margin, the range itself, and how to meet the difference. So there's no longer a need to actually bargain, because it's not a fish market. You don't want to be in business where it's like a fish market to you. You want to be in a business whereby you hold your authority in your space and you are able to give value and yet receive the monetary rewards accordingly. So it's important that it's not like a negotiation kind of relationship, but because they already knew that they can trust you, because you care for them, the relationship is there, they are willing to actually work with you on finding the win-win level. Okay, so it's about winning together. Heart-centered negotiation is not about one side winning and the other side losing out. It's usually a relationship whereby both sides wins together. So in my story earlier on about that deal, the 18 million deal, both the sellers went off very happy because both of them won in their own space. And one won in the space of achieving their price at the shortest time and being able to show in their books and making the board directors happy. The other side, which was a private, was able to close the deal at, to them, a very good price, buying price, and they made a profit after that when they sold the building after that in a short time. So there was a benefit from all parties, and because at the juncture this equation matches everyone. So besides pacing, building relationship, care, building trust, and etc., I also want to share that it is important to build relationship by being truthful. Yeah. And I speak about that because I believe in honesty, being truthful about what you truly can give. And sometimes, if you're not in a position to give value, you're not in a position to do the work, it is also good for you to tell them directly that, hey, this is not for me, and this is not the right relationship for both of us, but I can introduce you to someone else who can produce the result for you, or some other products and services which can give you better returns whatsoever. Because by doing so, the clients know that you're not about you, you're caring about them. So you may miss the deal that time. However, you may get a better deal the next time round, or you may get a better referral from your clients. So that is very important, because in the long run, that's when the relationship will go on for you. So what are the other things that is important for heart-centered negotiation is the ability to tell stories. Yeah. So you guys know that in this Facebook Live, I like to share about stories. However, through stories, you're building a few things. When you share a story, you're actually sharing with them your experience, your values, and your belief system. So learning to tell stories is a very important component in negotiation. So depending on what you're selling, you're giving an example, a case study. Okay, sometimes it's a story, sometimes it's a case study of a situation, a product, a service that has happened before, a person. So by giving them that storytelling, the case study is giving them the trust on the products or services that they're going for, or maybe your service directly, your coaching service or your product service. So by having a case studies is allowing the client to know that you have the ability to deliver that result for them. So learning the ability to do storytelling is important. So why did I start with truthful first? Because if you're truthful and telling a true stories, it will show. However, if you're lying and making up a story, the time will tell because you can't make up more stories to create the reality of the first unreal stories. So it's about being truthful, telling stories. The next item that we want to focus on to build the heart-centered negotiation is also taking on testimonials from your clients. Testimonials can come in the form of written testimonials. It can come from verbal testimonials. It can come from video testimonials. And this will allow your clients to understand that you come from, having the experience. Okay, one, having that certain belief and value systems that's aligned with them for whatever that you're offering. And that allows them to make a more informed decisions to get get the deal that you offer or appoint you for something because you are able to use testimonials to share. So what are these three types of testimonials that I just mentioned? Written testimonials, which you can get from your clients for past service, products, reviews, whatsoever. That's from a product perspective or service perspective. Video testimonials can be, you capture that same thing that they share in a video form. Video testimonials are very useful these days because they tend to be emotional and you can share. And with these days with technology, you can bring along your mobile and just turn on and then build that relationship with them through testimonial sharing. Of course, the third type is verbal testimonials, which it is usually from referral. Yeah. So, for example, your clients sharing of your capabilities is verbal. It shares with third party, and it comes as a referral system. Yeah. So that's usually verbal testimonials. And if you're some business, like for example, real estate, financial consultants, or even products and services, often verbal testimonials are what gets you your business without you knowing. Yeah. So, however, if you can structure your testimonials and have a written or a verbal one that you can actually put out onto the various platforms that you have. Like, for example, in the past, sharing, we have this sharing by Eunice, putting it in landing pages and sharing and putting it out as a resource to share with people. That will be a very simple way of sharing your stories, your result, your testimonials with third parties without you being posting about you, yeah, or sharing, talking too much about yourself, yeah. Because if someone is out there keep telling I'm good in this, I'm good in this, or my product is good in this, or that is so, whatsoever words that you use, sometimes it turns people away because of the overselling. So you don't want to oversell. You want to be in the position of seen as giving value. So you're providing both the pros and the cons of the product or service and letting them make an informed decision. So heart-centered, I know in this, I mean, most businesses, you say you need to do the sales, you need to make the money, so you want to close the deal. However, if you focus on closing the deal, you may realize that sometimes it's hard to close the deal. However, if you are willing to open up and share the pros and cons, and then evaluate why the pros are more important than the cons, and the clients are making a informed decision, they know that, hey, you already told them the cons, but the pros is still good enough for them to make the decision to purchase. Then is they can see that, yeah, you're just honest, you're willing to share the good things and the so-called bad things and let them make the informed decision without being pushy. So sometimes they just buy because they like your approach. Okay, I just want to share this story about this many years ago when I was helping out. I wasn't even the salesperson for a project sales in Singapore. So that wasn't the best time of sales in terms of like project sales. So however, it was a relatively healthy market. So this guy came into the showroom with no intention to buy. I was working like for fun on weekends. I just graduated from school. I was working as a valuer appraiser in some of your space. You call it appraiser. In Singapore, we are called valuer. So appraising properties basically. However, weekend I offer my service to work for another department just for exposure and I enjoy sales then. Yeah. So I was working in a showroom and we're selling this property by the reservoir. And this client came in. None of the full-time staff wanted to serve this guy. I just look at the guy, so I just have this feeling that okay, basically when you do sales, somehow you can size up. Some people will be willing to buy, some will not be interested. This guy came in, he was just walking around and looking. So I went to serve him with the intention to help. Yeah, so you hear me again, heart-centered negotiation, intention to help. So I focus on intention to help. So I went forward to him and I said, okay, can I help you? And I actually evaluated the entire project for him. It is a project with a couple of hundreds of thousands, can't remember, maybe 1,000 units. So different blocks. So I actually had a chatting session with him to understand him, the family size, where are they staying, what's he looking for. And actually he told me I have no intention to buy. And through the conversation, I found out that he was going to buy the project next door. He was just coming in to just have a look to make sure he's making a right decision for the next project. However, he didn't bring his checkbook. So he wants to make sure that he's not making an impulsive buy. So through the conversation, I knew that he has a certain budget and he was looking at high floor. He couldn't afford it. And then I was suggesting him to take certain floors, and I actually evaluated on the different blocks. There was this block that he was very comfortable in with a budget. However, it was on the second floor and it was facing the rubbish chute. Yeah, there's a rubbish, it means a garbage collection point. Okay. So then, however, the other block that meets his budget is on it faces the west. So it's pretty hot. In Singapore, it's a tropical space. Most of us avoid west facing. Unlike Western countries, you like the sun. In Singapore, we avoid the sun. Yeah, so it's west facing. So we were like talking on the pros and cons, and I actually truthfully told him that if he was looking for resale in the future, in the short term, then forget about the second floor facing the rubbish chute collection point, because that would mean that he has a lower chance of hitting a higher margins for sale for the price that he wants. So I suggested to him to take the other side, which has the west facing. However, I was able to find quite a good unit actually to avoid the sun, and he decided to buy. And he actually told me repeatedly, I have no intention to buy. You made me decide to buy this project. And you actually ran through the project and told me the pros of the project. And I was talking to him about then just giving him the full scale or whatever knowledge I have on the project and a comparison of price between this project and the next door project, etc., and the price potential gains, etc. So that was what happened in the conversation. So interestingly, when a customer walks out and say he didn't get his checkbook, he will not come back. Sometimes your friends will tell you he'll not come back because anyway, first he started with no intention to buy. He didn't bring his checkbook. He could be just entertaining you. Anyway, I had a trust in him that he would come back, and to me, I did my best. So it's fine. I did my best. It doesn't really matter because I was coming from a caring perspective for him, because I actually also helped him look at the other project and see whether he could find a good unit and the price difference, etc. So what happened was he came back. He really came back with a checkbook to buy the unit, and he actually asked me to reserve the unit for him before he left in case someone takes it. And because we are not left with that many units as well, yeah, the truth is, and he brought his sister. So in the end, the sister bought. I not only closed one deal, I closed two deals on the spot with he and his sister. And he told me he was going to refer other people to me. That day itself, I closed 6 units when no one else closed any unit. What happened was I told the truth of the garbage collection point being a cons. The other side has Westsun, and then we did comparison method and pricing. However, the second floor was more, that faces the rubbish chute, was more affordable for him. It was a situation where we were balancing the finances and seeing whether he can stretch a little bit more and get a better, slightly better unit, however, west facing in the end. So the conclusion is listening and helping, caring, breaking it down into smaller steps, pacing and leading your clients are many of the very simple steps in heart-centered negotiation process. At the end of the day, there is very little negotiation required because you are able to let the clients close themselves. Through the whole entire process, it wasn't just all this, because what happened in the process, it was also answering objections. I was able to answer all level of objections through the process because I knew what kind of objection level from each person when it come to the products or service that I was going to offer them. So it's important for you to know what are the objections from your clients on your products and services and come up with the potential answers. So in a very direct form, you would want to work on scripts at the very beginning. When you're doing all these processes, you want to come up with scripts to write down what are potential objections, so that when you're doing this heart-centered negotiation, you are already answering these objections for them to make the informed decision whether they want to progress. So I hope this has given you a bigger context into heart-centered negotiation and how do you present yourself as a heart-centered negotiator is to be truthful, to care about what your clients truly want, and do the very best that you can for your clients. And I appreciate you guys for hopping in for this Facebook Live. I'll be sharing more. And if you guys need some form of support or even helping you to clarify some of business processes, I'm happy to actually offer you this breakthrough call that I'm doing it for only a limited time right now. And you want to hop into this link so that you can actually, we can have a chat. I'm opening 2 hours of my time so that you can actually have a process with me to understand, to go through some of the breakthroughs that you need for your business for 2023. So the link is here, stellaho.com/breakthrough. We will work on your business, on what you require in your business or life for a breakthrough in a 2 hours call. It's my gift for this time of the year, January. You guys know that I don't always do this. There are times when I offer time slots and you want to hop in there and book in the few slots I have to take on for this month, to help you. Because it's a Chinese New Year month and we Chinese in Singapore, we are closing for business. However, I'm happy to help you in achieving your breakthrough for 2023. And it's so important in January to have plans, have your directions designed for the new year. And I want to be here to support you guys to achieve that in your life. So go ahead and click in this link and see me for 2 hours, my gift for you. And I'll see you next week on Tuesday Live. Bye for now.